Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I am here today with a new free project for you guys. This is called Yule Wishes, and it's number 182. And in this video, we're going to be making a little Yule keepsake box that has a little mini journal that goes inside of it, and some stars here for you guys to write your Yule wishes on, and the box to keep them in. It's traditional to write your wishes on a piece of paper and attach them to the Yule log and burn them, which you can or cannot do. It's, up to what your, personal traditions are, but I thought it would be fun to have a little project around the whole idea of Yule wishes and our hopes and, dreams for the new year. So we're going to be making a little box. Let me start by saying that I printed this kit on a mix of papers, just to do a little fun experimenting. I printed the box pieces on 60-pound cardstock, as well as the cover for the little book is on cardstock. This is on 32-pound paper. The pages for the book, I put the ATCs on paper as well, and this time we're trying out some stickers. So I put these on sticker paper. I am going to try a few different sticker papers out and see what I like the best. This one is not, for me personally, was not bright white enough. I like a bright white, paper. So I'm gonna do a little research, and then I'll let you guys know what the best option is. It's also, these are very flimsy, but we're gonna give them a shot anyway. I've been wanting to try out sticker paper, so I figured we'd all do it together. Okay, so there's a bunch of, different pieces and stuff. I made probably too many pages for this journal, so if you just pick the ones you want, and then you can, print the pages of those that you want. I think there's like 10 different layouts for the journal, but I think it's probably too many. So there's also a number of background pages for this. Because we're doing like a little mini journal in here, I wanted to make sure that you had a good variety of like backing papers to put on your pages. So there's this nice floral here. There's like this grungy snowflake, this big sorrel, this wood, which is intended to be printed on the outside of your box, but you don't have to. You can go with whatever you want. There's a bunch of different choices. This is the text. I did a text background for this one. It's a story called The Yule Log, and this like kind of grungy abstract snowflake one. I thought they would all make good like background sort of patterns for your pages. Like just enough color to get it going, but not enough to like really distract from doing like any like art on the actual page. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do with this is assemble the box. It's pretty quick to assemble. I did a bunch of work on it ahead of time just to make it a little bit easier. This is the outside piece. So it's like a little matchbox, a big matchbox actually, because I've never seen a matchbox this big. And then this piece is going to slide into it like a little drawer, and it will hold your stars and your journal and whatever else you want to put inside of it. So to do this one, it's pretty easy. This is how it looks on the printable sheet. And so all you need to do is cut it and fold it on all these lines that are right here. Okay, attach 2 pieces of tape because I'm using tape and I want it to be sturdy. Glue's fine. I just don't want to have to wait for it to dry on the video. So I went ahead and pre-taped this, but I did forget to ink this edge, and I don't want this white to be sticking out when I glue it. Okay, so that's done. And then let's take the tape off of here. And we'll get that going. And pretty soon we'll have a box. There's a little bit extra scoring that needs to be done on the bottom part of the box. So I've put, again, together about 4 or 5 of these already today. So what I've decided is that the best place to put the tape here is on this outside piece right here. That's what worked the best for me. So your mileage may vary, but like I've put together so many of these today. I want to make sure this is straight before I commit to my tape. So I would definitely recommend putting the tape on this outside piece over this inside piece. I don't know that it really makes like a difference in the construction. I just found it much easier to do this. Okay, so this is our outside piece. And then we have this piece. This is our bottom piece. And this needs to be scored and folded on all the lines. So you'll see all the lines. And additionally, you'll see it, these little tabs here, you need to cut into the actual piece on these, just these 4 little lines, because that'll make your little tabs that will fold in here and go like this. So if you, you know, when you're doing it, it actually doesn't matter if you cut them here or here, just be consistent. I wanted to attach them long ways into the actual bottom of the box, just for security's sake. And even though I have tape on this already, I'm also going to add a little bit of glue to it. Just, you know, because it's going to go into the channel right here. Let me assemble it. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to get started with that. I'm going to go ahead and start by doing my 2 end pieces. And then we'll do the side pieces, because those are the pieces that are going to like actually fold into the tabs. Okay. And it'll make it a little bit easier if we start with this. So we'll take this off here. Pickle is under the desk again, and he is not a happy camper today. I think he wants to go outside. All right, so we'll just fold these in. Fold this one in. Okay, now these fold up, and then these tuck in like this. Okay, and then they're gonna just go over like this. Okay. So first, I'll start with this side. I'm going to go ahead and put like a little bit of glue on each one of my little flaps, just to hold them in there once they're in the actual like channel that it goes in. There we go with that. There we go with that. Put that on. Oops. My glue has this new precision tip on it, and the lid's a little more complicated than it used to be. Okay. All right, so we'll push this in, push this up. Oops, I forgot to take my tape off, sorry. All right, take my tape off. Okay, so I'm gonna push this in, push this up, and then push this over. And then just make sure you're pushing in while you're pushing this over, so that everything gets all secured in there. And I did make sure you put adhesive all the way to the edges too. You just want to make sure everything's nice and secure. Okay. All right, so I've got a little bit of glue on here, a little bit of glue on here. This new precision tip on this glue is A+. I really like it. All right, there we go. And we'll do this little here. And then we'll push these in while we push this over. And then we can just tuck this under. Just make sure everything's in there nice and secure. I'm gonna check both sides. There we go. Okay, now this is gonna be a snug fit when you go to put it inside your matchbox cover. So you may have to like wiggle it a little bit, but you do want it to be snug so that it stays together. See? Just like that. Ooh. And now we have a box, and that wasn't even that hard, right? It was pretty quick. So now we can talk about, I'm going to talk about the cover of the box a little bit right now and let you know what your options are, and then we'll get to work on our little journal. I made a lot of different things because, you know, everybody likes things a little bit differently. And so I wanted to make sure you had plenty of options for decorating this. Okay, so initially I thought a collage on top of this would be really lovely, right? But I didn't know if you guys would want to put in a lot of weight on there with a lot of different pieces. So I did make one of these images to just cover the top of it. And then you can collage on top of this if you want. Additionally, there are a number of Yule versus like traditional Old English ones. And you could put that on the front if you want one of these on the front and then decorate around that. And then I also did a bunch of like fussy cuts in case you want to do, say you want to do your own collage, right? Or you want to decorate your own Yule log. There's enough stuff here to make and decorate your own little Yule log on here. I tried to include a picture of one here too, if you wanted it. And I also have some larger fussy cuts of just a Yule log in case you want to go that route. And I did cut a few pieces of, this is a Tim Holtz like festive, no, this one's the spring, the dark green or the spring die. He's got a spring foliage die. And then there's also a holiday one, which are these lighter green pieces. But I don't know. I thought, you know, I wanted to give you guys some ideas on, you know, expanding on the actual freebie. Like, what else could you add? What do you have in your stash? Do you have a couple of dies maybe that you haven't used in a while? And you could put that on there as well if you want. Maybe not this leaf, but you know, I like how these are, the foliage is so pretty and it's fun to play with. So these are some options for what you want to do with the cover. I'm not sure, like I like all of them, so it's going to be a hard call for me to decide what I want to do exactly. But so there's a bunch of different options included in the actual kit for you to work with. And then any additional like leftover ephemera or whatever can go ahead and just go into the journal. All my little pieces are getting stuck on everything. Okay, so let me clean this up really quickly and then we'll talk about the journal. I thought it would be fun, since we all just made our Christmas journals, to do a little 3-hole pamphlet stitch on this one, just to do a little bit of a review on what we did in the main journal. So this one will be binding only one signature, and we'll just be binding it all together, right? So just make sure your cover and everything is facing the way that you want, because I do love to do upside down. And I'm just going to get my trusty encyclopedia, and we're just going to poke a couple of freehand holes in this. Because this is only one signature, you don't really have to worry about your spacing as much. With the other one, we used a template because we knew that, you know, we're going to punch through more than one signature. And I don't like to freelance it unless it's just one signature. So just, you want to go like, I don't know. I think that's about, is that an inch or 3/4 of an inch? I'm real bad at judging that type of thing. But once you have these holes poked, I'm just going to stick them through to make it be. And then we'll just go through and just do a quick pamphlet stitch on this one. Okay, so I've got my 3 holes in here. I've got my needle with some wax thread on it. I was hoping to use twine, but we only have really thick twine right now. So henceforth, we're going to be using the, I'm going to just use some wax thread. So we're just going to go ahead and go in this hole here. There you go, right up there. I'm going to go to this one here. And then we're going to flip this over. Pull this through. And we're going to go down to the last hole, which I possibly should have made a little bit wider. There we go. I went through. There we go. Just make sure my thing didn't get too twisted. going to hold on to that while you tighten that, and then we're just going to go back through the middle hole here. Okay, so I did this so that my thread would tie on the outside of my journal, which is what I personally prefer. But if you want your thread to be on the inside of your journal, you can just do it the opposite way that I did it. So your when you start, you're going to start on the inside and go to the outside. So your tail will be on the inside instead. I just like to have it on the outside because I don't like to have things in the middle of my journal, especially since I was thinking about tying a little charm onto this. So I thought I'll do it on the outside for this little book. And then we'll just make a little knot there. I tied it around this string so that it has something to kind of hang on to right there, right? And then we're just going to trim this off. I'm going to leave these a little long for right now until I decide exactly what I want to do with my strings. But I like to have them on the outside. So the nice thing is you can do it any way you want because it's your journal. So, okay, there's my clips. I took my clips off there, and now we just have our journal. The other thing I was thinking too that could have been nice is you could add some scrap papers in here too and make this just look a little bit more scrappy, you know. This is just the papers that are included in the kit. And there's some spaces for writing, and then there's some illustrated pages, and then there's these pages, which I thought would be nice to either add in, like, I made these little lined ones, so you have a place to put your journaling. You want to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick mine in here right now, actually, on this page. I did put this on sticker paper to give this a try and see what I thought of this. Since we did the 12 Days of Winter Wonder, now I'm all about experimenting with new things. But that looks, you know, that's really nice. And it's stuck on there really well. No glue, and it was very easy. I think that we'll go with one of our Yule poems. I think I'll go with this one on the inside cover here as well. There's no forgiveness on these, so once that sticker paper's down, it's down. Hopefully I'm doing this reasonably centered here. If I'm not, I thought I could just decorate around it and solve that problem. The other thing I thought about with this is that you could cut it up if you wanted. Like if you wanted to just cut out specific lines or just cut around it. This would, you know, you could completely change the size of this by doing that. So if you wanted to include just this piece right here on here along with some other stuff, you could do that as well. Let's see. There's also artist trading cards. Oh, and I forgot. I made some little pockets too, in case you wanted to have a pocket or two in here. I think that the back here would be a great place for a pocket. I'm going to put my little wood pocket here, I think. A little bit of glue on there. I printed wood apparently on the back of all of mine too. There we go. Get that. And put this down here. Right, in a minute we'll come back and tuck something in there, but in the meantime let's decide where we want to put. Go put a purple this purple pocket here. Go. Put this one here. So I think on the more plainer pages, I'm gonna go ahead and put pockets and my lined pages. There's actually quite a number of pages in here. So you can have a good time with this. Let's see. If you did not get a chance to make the Winter Wonder Journal, this would be a fine, quick project, and you'd still have a little winter journal for yourself. But I thought it'd be nice to have like a little something to hold, you know, maybe if you guys want to write down what your hopes are for the new year or things like that. And you have a little place to store them. And I thought maybe I could dress mine up maybe with a little ribbon or twine as well. Let's see, let's decide. There we go. I think we'll put that on that page. And I think I'm going to go with the big image for my cover. Because I think what I might do is make it a pocket. There's also artist trading cards to use in here, and you can use them, if you glue them down, you can use them as tuck spots. In fact, maybe we'll just do that with this one right here. They make great tuck spots. You could tuck your little stars behind them if you wanted. Apologies for the snoring dog again. I'm so sorry. There we go. He gets very offended if I try to, you know, put him out in the hall. So I think I'm stuck with him. But yeah, so you could tuck stuff behind this. You could tuck your stars behind that if you wanted, with your little wishes in them. Oops, I don't want to poke that. You could also glue your stars on the front here. You could embellish this cover a little bit. Okay, so I have this little star charm here. I'm going to pull this way up there. So it just hangs right off there. I think I'm going to cut my thread a little bit so it's not quite so long. Just tie this on here. And you could come along and you could tie like several beads or charms on here if you wanted as well, just to kind of decorate it. I'm rearranging my craft room right now, so my beads are not within reach of me. But I think it'll be nice to add a couple of maybe some purple beads onto here. Okay, there we go. And then there's also, I have this little tree of life one, which I thought might be cute on here as well. And we'll go with the Yule theme. Cut that. And then just tie this little guy on here. I was going to make this video short. So I get crafting and then I just lose track of time and start doing all kinds of add-ins to stuff. Okay, here we go. You just have to get this little M through here. There we go. We have our little charms on there. And the nice thing too is it holds the strings down. You could tie them off short too if you don't want to have the actual, you know, strings dangling. You could tie them off short and trim them, and in that case you might want to bind them in the center. I like the 2 stitches in the center. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, and then that can go in here with your little stars, And you can also put your extra ephemera in here too if you would like. But there's lots of different options for you to decorate in this kit. And this, once the journal and stuff's in there, it makes this, you know, just a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so this I think I'm going to go ahead and go with on the cover. And then I'm just going to glue around 3 sides of it. Or actually, I'm going to tape just for security's sake and video's sake. And then I'll be able to have like a secret little tuck spot. And who doesn't love a secret little tuck spot? All right, here's this. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. And I'll just add probably a few little embellishments to that. And let's see what else. For some reason, I feel like it would be nice to have something sparkly. It must be the holidays getting to me because I'm not usually like a super sparkly person, but I don't know, this kind of feels like making something special. Okay, so that's on there. And then now you have a little place to put that, or if you want to put your stars in there, you could put your stars in there as well. Let's see. I actually think I'm also going to flip this over and put one of my verses on the back of this as well. I just think it'll be a nice little addition to the box itself. And then I can always add like a little bit of this greenery. Everything gets a little bit tangled very easily onto here as well. I think I do have a second swirl. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Use this. I should have put this on the sticker paper. And you could use literally any, if you want to add something like this, any die. You could use a little punch, like, you know, punch a little bit of lace out with a punch, or you could, you know, decorative punch the little card before you put it on there. Just whatever you have in your craft room. I am going to commit myself to using my dies more in the new year because I don't get to use them enough, and I love them. I mean, I could just do it. I could cut dies all day. I just love having these little beautiful shapes to add to my projects. So hopefully I will be able to incorporate these, you know, into more of my projects in the future. I am a huge proponent of getting everything secondhand. So like this is this die in particular is an older Tim Holtz one. It's one of these long, it's called Festive Greenery. That's where these came from. And I got this, you know, I got a bunch of these off of eBay for a song. So I love to score a good secondhand deal on eBay. So all right, I think I'm going to leave these here like this. I'm going to take a quick look at what my sticker and fussy cut options are here. I do have, let's see. There's some flowers and orange slices. Like I said before, you can make your own log. You can add your own candle. If you want, there's lots of different little, oh, and I did do a couple of little tags, which I'm going to just break here and go back in here for a second. because I forgot I wanted to go back in and add these little tags. And then you can also add your little bits and pieces of ephemera in here as well if you want to add a log on here. Here, my favorite ones I think are these greenery pieces. I'm really into that for some reason this time around. Let's see, let's get this guy in here. And depending on what you print in the back, you could also put a little note on the back. You could date it, you know, with the year and all that stuff, information, which is nice to have in your journal, you know, when you look back on it. Okay, let's take a quick look at our little box here. This is the Yule Wishes keepsake box, and inside we have our little journal. We have some of our artist trading cards, a Yule verse, a little fussy cut, and our wishing stars that we can write our wishes on for the new year. All that goes in here and then just slides right back in here. And I'm going to tie mine up here with a little bit of ribbon, I think. Keep everything nice and safe. And ready to go for solstice, which I'm not sure, it's in a couple of days. Is it Saturday? I think it might be Saturday. Which will be lovely because even though it's like the longest night, afterwards the days will start to get longer again, and that will be nice. I could have given myself a little bit more leeway there, but I think that's going to be fine. Give this a little trim right here. And there we have it. Okay, this has been Yule Wishes, which is number 182. And if you guys would like to get this project for free and you're not already on my email list, just sign up in the link in the description below, and I will send you this project as well as all the projects in the future. Every Monday, new project. So I hope you guys have a lovely day and you enjoy making yourself a little keepsake box. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.